Everyone, and welcome to our first webinar. I'm Jasmine from Tidy HQ, and we've got Jen here from Strive Sport, and we're so excited to kick off our brand new webinar series. So, it's about a smarter partnership designed to support community clubs like yourselves. Whether you're from a grassroots club or leading at a regional level, we know clubs life can feel like a juggling act. So, this series is all about giving you more confidence, less admin, and practical tools that help you get things done. So, tonight's session is all about building a strong club culture, and it's the perfect place for you to start because a strong culture grounded in shared values and purposes is what holds great clubs together. It's how you build trust, retain volunteers, and create something people want to be a part of. So, thanks for joining us. We're really glad to have you here. So, let's start diving in and start building stronger, smarter clubs together. So, a quick little introduction of ourselves here. Firstly, I'll just do a little background about Tidy. So, Tidy HQ was founded in 2012. It all started with our founder, Isaac Jury. He was frustrated with clunky spreadsheets, lost emails, and chaotic handovers, and realized that there just had to be a better way to manage community organizations. So since then, Tidy HQ has grown to support thousands of groups globally. So from sports clubs to student unions to peak bodies and non-profits. And I will hand over to Jen here from Strive Sport.
Thanks, Jasmine. Very excited to be here with you all tonight. We Strive Sport is all about helping clubs strengthen governance, refine strategic planning, and enhance financial sustainability. Through tailored mentorship workshops and educational programs such as this one that we're doing with Tidy, we foster inclusive, well-structured sporting environments that promote long-term success. We're committed to building diverse, high-performing sports communities where all participants, regardless of gender or background, have the opportunity to excel. So I hope you guys can all learn something from this webinar series that we're running tonight and over the next couple of weeks. Feel free to reach out if you've got any questions.
Cool. And now we'll hand over to defining your club's culture, values, and visions.
Amazing. Thanks, Jazz. So this is really we're getting stuck into the basics of how to create a successful club. So what do you think club culture is? Brene Brown puts it simply, culture is the way we do things around here, especially when no one is watching. So it's the little things, including the way we treat each other, how decisions get made, what's considered normal at your club. So now culture often only comes up when there's an issue, but it shouldn't just be about problems. Culture can be your club's superpower. Think about when it's working. A welcoming vibe for new members, respect on the sidelines, a committee that actually listens. That's culture too, and it's worth building on. So ask yourself, what's the culture we have right now? And what's the culture we want? From there, we can identify the values that matter most, not just buzzwords, but the real lived values that drive how your club behaves. And once we know our values, we've got the foundation for a meaningful club vision, something that guides decisions, unites your people, and gives directions for the future. So, in short, culture drives values shape vision, and vision keeps everyone moving in the same direction. So an example on the slides, we've got current culture and the desired culture of friendly, supportive, family-focused club. And the values that we want to have from that is all about belonging, respect, and participation. And the vision then would be a club where every child feels welcome, valued, and excited to play, no matter their skill level. So success. Finding a full success isn't just about trophies, but it's all about defining success based on participation, culture, sustainability, and community. So now that you've got your culture, values, and vision, let's talk success. Because if your club can't agree on what success looks like, how will you know if you're achieving it? We tend to default to the obvious stuff, trophies, premierships, making finals. And hey, that's great, but it's not the only definition of success. What if success also looked like 20 new kids signing up for your beginners program, volunteers coming back year after year, a more welcoming vibe that attracts families from all backgrounds. Success should reflect your vision and be measured in ways that matter to your club. It might be about growth or connection or staying financially sustainable or supporting your community. When you define success clearly across things like participation, culture, sustainability, and community impact, it becomes easier to make decisions and celebrate the right wins. So on the slides, we've got some examples of what success could look like, whether it's finding a full team in every junior age group, engaging 3 new sponsors and creating a welcoming club room where families want to stay after the game. Could be about growing female participation by 25%, building partnerships with local schools and being recognised as a safe, inclusive space for young people. Or it could be a fully staffed committee with clear handovers, positive volunteer experiences that lead to long-term retention, and a club culture where people feel appreciated and supported. That sounds amazing.
Does sound very good, Jen.
Absolutely. So clarifying your club's structure. And no, not the kind with the confusing org charts and dotted lines. We mean something much more useful. Who does what? How are decisions made? And how do we make sure nothing falls through the cracks? Clubs often rely on a handful of passionate people doing everything, but without structure, that passion turns into burnout fast. That's why structure means more than just titles. It means having position descriptions with clear roles and responsibilities, such as on the slides, we've got started to develop some templates for positions with the president, the secretary, and the treasurer in clear tasks and actionable items that make it easy for you to know who's meant to be doing what. So it helps the club avoid duplication, support new volunteers, and plan for smooth handovers when people move on. A clear structure supports sustainability, not control. It's how we turn our culture and vision into practical action and make sure the club runs with its people and not on top of them.
Awesome. So, as Jen mentioned, now you've started thinking about your club culture, your vision, and your structure. So, where are you going to store all this information? The best place to store this is in Tidy's HQ. So, Tidy HQ has many apps available that you guys can use. So, whether it be our storage app, we've also got a web page app in there. We've also got the roles functionality in there where you can assign users to roles and delegate so you know who's responsible for what. So, like you saw in the previous slide, you've got your president, your treasurer, and your secretary. All that information can be stored in Tidy. So now we're going to move over into the Tidy HQ demonstration where I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so here you can see that I am logged in as our our demonstration account here. So when you log into Tidy, yours should look pretty similar to this as well. So a couple of apps you'll see on the left-hand side here. So you should either have the storage app here, or if you need to install it, just head over to your storage app down here. So just head into apps. And then you can just come in and see what apps are installed or what ones you need to install. So as an example, if this wasn't installed, you just click into it and then you would be able to click the install button here. If you are no longer using it, you can always remove it. So with the storage app, it's an area where you can store important files or documentations that no longer need editing. So like a PDF file. So perhaps you have a policy that you want to store within your account. So this is a great area where you can store that type of information that other admins can access. So your admins could be your treasurer, your president, your secretary, or perhaps like your general manager, your registrar, club admin, and so on. So yeah, you can store all this information in here. Again, you can always edit permissions of your treasurer and club admin as well. So, for example, if you didn't want your club admin to have access to the storage app, you just need to edit their permissions. So, we do have other videos on how to do that. If you need some help, please let me know and we can walk through that. So, that's one area to store information. Another one is utilizing our web pages. So if I step back to Bondi Football Club, if we go to their public page here, so every Tidy account comes with the ability to create web pages. So you might be already using the web page areas in Tidy, or perhaps you're not using this area. You might already have a website, which is totally fine. Maybe you want to use this as your internal knowledge base or like an intranet or so on. So you can use this as well. Or you could also add external links out to your actual website too. So types of information that you might want to store here is your current committee members, so that it's visible to your members, or perhaps it's visible to the public as well. So you can see our menu is here. If we click down, you can see all this information here. So you can click down. Okay, we can access important documents. We can see committees. So we can see all the committee meetings. We can also see the club resources as well. And we also have external links. So if I step back into the admin and we step back into this web pages, this is where all this information is displayed. So it's a really easy area to use. So again, you might want to add your club constitution here. And as Jen was saying, you might want to add all your values and your core values for your particular club. So you might want those to be visible on your actual landing homepage for your club, so everyone knows, okay, this club, this is what their values are. And then also with the committee, perhaps you want to say you want to put who is the current committee, so it's visible to all your members as well. So it's super easy. You can just add new pages. You can add new external links, so external links out to your web page as well. So yeah, I'm just going to scroll down through our examples here so you can have a quick look. So yeah, we've got like a code of conduct, contact us. We've got our club constitution. We also have an events page, which you'll see in our next webinars, recordings. You've got sponsor information as well. And we've also got a history about the club too. So yeah, it's a really, really useful tool to use within Tidy to show your members certain areas of your particular club. Okay. And then the other section that I really wanted to point out is when you are setting up your actual organization, club, association within Tidy, the first step you do is inviting your admins and assigning them to roles. So these are the most important steps to do within your Tidy account to ensure that there is a good succession plan in place and a good handover as well. So if you scroll down to this section here, we've got admins and roles. So really important, you want to invite admins to your club or your association, because that means you have more volunteers helping you run the club, okay? So first of all, you can see we've got Joe Doe here, and Joe Doe has full access, okay? So he's got full access to the back end of our Bondi Football Club, so he can see every single app. And same with Isaac as well. Now, if we just scroll down here, we've got Daniela. So Daniela here, so she just has access to events. So whenever she logs into Tidy, she's only going to see the events section. So yeah, if you've got an events coordinator who needs to access an events or contacts, this is where you can limit their permissions. So with the permissions, just keep in mind that they either have access to all or nothing. So you can't just limit certain areas within the events app. They either have access to all of it or nothing. So, you really want to invite as many admins as you can just to help delegate the work and help you run your club smoothly. The next part is once you've invited all your admins, they're accepted their invitations to help you run. The next step is walking over to this role section, okay? So you want to make sure your admins, they all have a role. So they're all assigned to a role within your club or association, and they all know what their responsibilities are, okay? So, you can have the standard setup of the president, vice president, and treasurer, and so on, or you might have particular ones for your particular club. So for our club here, we've got our government liaison manager, we've also got a football manager, and so on. So you can add as many roles as you like. So the way to do that is you just come over to this new roles here, you put in a name, and you just give it some responsibilities, and then you invite the admin. So that admin will be on this page here. So you'll see Isaac is our current president and Jasmine is our current treasurer. And you can see we don't actually have anyone assigned to the vice president role. So perhaps that role is currently vacant, and we need to fulfill that role. Once we have fulfilled that role, all we need to do is assign an admin here and search for their name here. Okay. And then once they have been assigned, they'll be responsible for this particular role. So they'll know what their responsibilities are. And then you'll see moving forward is when you're using our meetings apps and when you're using our events apps, if they're assigned to any task, whatever task that role has been assigned to, that will just move over to that new admin, okay? So you've got that handover process set in place now. So, let's just say we've got a new vice president that comes on, John, and he is now assigned as an admin. Now he'll be able to see all his outstanding tasks in Tidy, and then he can go through and visit our meetings app to see all the previous minutes as well. So everything's stored in one location for John. He doesn't have to go through all his emails and go, okay, like, what has the vice president got outstanding? What do I need to do? He'll also see what he's responsible for, so he can go, okay, this is what I'm responsible for. Or perhaps you print this out for John so he knows prior to being assigned to this role as well. So, you've got the plan in place, you've got your handover in place as well. So all your details are just in that one location, and just makes those handovers much smoother, especially if, you do not have that smooth transition of the role handover. So if someone just ups and leaves your club, it's all there for you, okay? So that's all we're really going to run through at the moment. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me after this demonstration. We also offer one-on-one training as well. And please also look at our support help guides, okay? So we've got heaps of information on our help center. If you're already using Tidy as well, you should have this little chat box here too. So you can always search for information as well. So if you're unsure, it should come up there too. All right, so we'll head back to our presentation. Thanks, everyone. Now I'm going to hand over back to Jen, where we're going to start the culture conversation.
Amazing. Thanks, Jazz. Loving learning more about the Tidy HQ platform and how it can help all our clubs out there. So starting the culture conversation, use a club meeting to reflect on what the club stands for and how to build a welcoming culture. Now comes the most important part. You've got to talk about it out loud with real people at your club. That might seem a bit daunting, but starting the culture conversation, even if it feels a bit awkward, ask questions like, what's it feel like to be a part of our club? What do we want it to feel like? What behaviours do we want to see? And which ones do we want to see even more of? These conversations don't have to be big formal workshops. They can be a quick chat at your next community meeting, a reflection with your junior coaches, or a post-training yarn with your volunteers. For example, what's some culture behaviour that you'd like your parents to be doing on the sidelines of your matches every week? Do you want them to be cheering on your players in a positive manner, encouraging the opposition? Do you want to be seeing the negative behaviours that you see of some parents? It's all about saying what you do want to see, but also saying what you don't want to see. And that's really clear. And it starts with having these basic conversations with parents and volunteers as you're going around the club.
Awesome. Thanks, Jen. And now that comes to the end of our webinar. So if you have any questions in regards to setting up your club correctly, feel free to reach out to Jen at Strive Sport. If you're interested in learning more about Tidy or you're unsure of how your Tidy setup is correct for you, you just need some help, feel free to reach out to myself as well.
Yeah, amazing. We've Strive Sport, we're also launching a webinar series starting on the 6th of August. It's packed with practical workshops designed especially for clubs like yours, focused on leadership, inclusion, sustainability, and so much more. It's a great chance for you to learn and dive even more into some of the topics that we've discussed tonight. Come on over to the Strive Sport website to find out more, or reach out. Our contact details are on the website, on the slides right now. Thanks very much, Jazz. Really appreciate the opportunity to chat to your members tonight.
No worries. Thanks for joining us, Jen, and thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We hope to see you at the next one. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.